Yeah, when you think about it, you don't even need pooping. You just need pissing.
That is true. I've thought about that before when I've had to go poo-poo before. I've just be like, not today. We shall piss later.
I
don't have time for this.
Do you
You
ever
better get to
think about
digest.
how sometimes your stomach hurts and then you go and you take a poo,
Yeah.
and then you think about whenever the school nurse asked you that, if you needed to like go see the, or your teacher, if
Yeah.
you needed to go see the nurse, or if you just needed
Yeah.
to go to the bathroom, how many times did you actually just need to go to the bathroom?
I mean, probably
knows?
a lot.
I don't know what you're
Possible to
talking
say.
about. I
Like,
can't
you
even.
have a tummy.
I think Bachmann was saying that he wanted to poop out of his pee hole. That is
Yes,
what I thought.
thank you,
That is what I
thank
thought you were
you.
saying.
Okay, got it. That's my bad,
Like
everybody.
I'm just sitting here like, okay.
I thought you meant wait for the poo-poo to be more digested and into pee.
Oh my God.
No, just saying.
Oh
only
my God.
Pee everything.
I still don't really understand, but
EA games.
that's okay.
Pee
Oh,
everything.
Tim and Bachman, did you realize you're wearing the same shirt?
Yeah.
Did you do it on purpose?
Essentially,
No.
just a
Damn.
tiny cloaca is what we're talking about. Just a really small
No,
cloaca.
I don't like it.
Hello, everyone.
What's up, chat?
How are you today?
Hello.
So good to see you. You look great tonight.
Someone in the chat said they like my lipstick. It's Fenty. I
Fenty.
forget what color it is.
Oh,
The purple
damn it.
one.
Fenty.
Oh, I
Thank you,
love
everybody,
that
for
key.
joining us at geeklyinc.com/Twitch, which is a URL everyone uses.
Everyone always uses that one.
I thought you were gonna say /Fenty.
Did
Is
everyone
it
tweet?
liquid lip color?
No, it's a matte one. It's a
Matte
little-
long wear liquid foundation? No,
Who's
that's liquid
Matt?
foundation.
We only have
Exactly
30
it.
people watching because we made so many jokes about it being the last episode.
No, we didn't,
Okay.
guys. We didn't mean it.
Somebody tweeted at us today. They were definitely giving us the business about, oh, it's your last episode. Never see you again.
Yeah, that's it.
Come on.
Come on, you know what?
Come on.
Come on. I mean, we say that, but until the end of our days, we will be getting emails. Man, fucking, you switched to the source of sobriety. That fucking sucks. We'll get a tweet about like the first episode that we had Owen on, and we tried not to swear that much, and we failed, but they didn't get through it, and so they will email us like, I don't listen to you to be family friendly, motherfucker. And I'm like, you're an idiot. How the fuck? But everyone's, I've calmed down a little bit. Dear Twitch chat. I used to say everyone's a fucking idiot, but usually what's happening is they're just going about their days and not paying 1,000% attention, and that's okay. Now, if I was doing that, I wouldn't open my goddamn phone and reply, and so there is where my judgment goes again.
It is impressive. It's just like, damn, that's a lot of effort.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't do that because I'm lazy.
I would. No.
Cool. You need to calm down.
Not trying to put that energy out there, but we're so happy to see you here today, Twitch. We're gonna do a little cast retrospective. Wow, because it's been we've been doing this podcast for 4 years.
Today I watched one other Twitch channel for the first time, and
Wait a second, go ahead. This first time you've turned on Twitch?
yeah, and like you can do all kinds of weird stuff. Did you guys know that?
Do you guys know
when a
you can
hype,
see us on the internet?
like when a hype train starts, you can play weird things and
I'm
stuff.
gonna kill
and-
Michael.
Do you guys know this?
I
This is
actually
the
do
classic
not.
Michael
You don't
situation.
just have to you don't have to just do vanilla Twitch. Apparently,
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
You guys know this?
Gotta know when to piss them.
This really shitty band redid Cranberry Zombie.
Oh my god!
And they play it on the radio a lot.
Zombie.
And sometimes when I'm driving, I appreciate the radio as opposed to curating my own music. And I was like, this song's horrible. And it's been in my head every day.
It sounds horrible. I love
I
it.
just can't stop listening to it.
Tweeted.
Goodbye. No, but Michael, we discussed a lot of these things, and the fact that we are a podcast that is using Twitch as a platform gets in the way of a lot of the things. Because I think we all agree, while all those things are fun, and yes, David could edit them out.
You know what? You know what? Just every time someone gives us bits, for it to be like, Nika's head to pop up and go, well, thank you.
Wow!
Just constantly nonstop.
That would be
I think
awesome.
he needs to be literally with this makeup on.
Yeah, because we've rated channels that they do like a 25-second thing, and I was like,
Yeah.
What if we did that and then it like chained off of everything? So then, like, if
Oh my
someone
God.
said, like, someone gave a bit, my thing would pop up. But then if someone joined, then like Bachmann would like come in at the same time. So it would just be like this total sensory overload.
Well,
Sounds
that
like a
sounds good.
nightmare,
The
and I
thing
want to
that
scream.
I was watching earlier today was just, like the first 10 minutes were just an absolute fever dream. It was just like,
Yeah, sometimes
was
when I
like-
go on Twitch, I'm just like, maybe I should go back and work for a law firm. What the fuck is happening here?
like a hype train started, and then like Thomas the Tank Engine came through with the Twitch person's face on it.
Yeah.
And like that was, and then suddenly it turned into them in clown makeup doing metal, like new metal.
Yes.
It's wild.
Michael, you just gotta start watching
Wild.
sleep streams. That needs to be your whole thing.
Is that where you just sleep on stream?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was watching Casey Tron sleep last night.
I
Oh my
fucking.
God.
When did that start?
I guess because like subathons happened, and like, oh, I'll stay up until you guys stop subbing, but that's like days now.
Because like I definitely did that like in our early Twitch days. You remember when my camera was above my bed?
Didn't that
Yes.
happen once
Yeah.
we got
I absolutely
accents?
just passed out after. Like, did I
Oh,
invent
no.
that?
I think you might have invented that, man.
Do
Yeah.
do a lot of people owe me money?
I
You
think
should
so.
sue.
You can pay. You can add bits, right? And then I'll make fart noises on the stream on Casey's.
But I was already doing that.
Okay.
Like
Farting?
I do the fart noises for free.
Okay. And I guess they do something too. If you give enough money, the sound will play to wake the sleeper up.
Yeah,
That
that's
seems
that's torture.
That sounds
That's
horrifying.
Like, it's literal torture.
That is how they torture people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But this hype train's
we've,
going
Michael,
great.
we've talked about this. I swear.
This hype train's going great.
Ooh, hype.
This is
Yeah,
the
level
classic
5.
Michael.
The first time Michael's seen a
Look.
hype train.
You guys ever heard of Twitch? Like,
I
we've had
didn't
this
have to
conversation
prep for
4
a game
times.
today, so
While you guys were talking
That's like-
about
that's-
Twitch.
That's like me being like, I googled Jimmy John's and I got a competitor's ad.
I was like, I don't know how to react to this, but isn't this normal? I'm sorry.
I knew why you were sending it. I appreciated you sending
Thank
it,
you.
Bachmann.
It's because we're Subway buddies.
Yeah.
Because we're over here eating fresh,
yeah.
and
They got firsthand experience of my Subway sandwich, and I feel like if that doesn't turn you on to Subway, then
Honestly, I would have eaten the hell out of that sandwich. It smelled
it's
great.
so fresh.
It
Yeah.
smelled like pickles, and I loved it.
If you have an upset tummy, I am convinced that pickles are good for it.
ooh, yeah.
I feel like that's true because I feel like it's like don't they say that like apple cider vinegar can be good for your stomach and kombucha is good
Maybe.
for your stomach?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pickles are just
Pickles.
vinegar.
I think
I
like,
got
cold
served an
people-
ad, and it was one of those like weight loss ads or whatever, and it was
No.
like they don't want you to know this weight loss trick, and I swear to God, it was a bottle of apple cider vinegar in the dude's ad.
Hell yeah.
just blast.
Just
crush
drink
that.
it.
Just guzzle it.
Yeah.
Michael, there's a lot we can do, but the fact is, we
I
share the Twitch with other people.
do understand this.
Do you?
I am doing a bit right now.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
It's not
I mean,
fair because you know how easy it is to do bits on me.
I'm doing a bit where I'm just my normal self.
Tim, why don't you stop spiraling? And go look at the good tweet that I just made that I was doing what you guys were talking about Twitch.
Okay.
I'm gonna get some.
I mean,
some
I
water.
did watch a person with crazy
Oh yeah, man.
shit.
Oh yeah,
today.
man.
And I was like, oh my god, this is so
That's funny.
ridiculous.
That's good.
I walked by and the skeleton was turned towards the door with his red. We have 6 skeletons in our front yard.
Could
And
have more.
we could have more. We have 6 skeletons. We have 2 skulls in addition to the 6 skeletons. And yeah, I love all 6 of my skeleton children.
Oh, I think they just totally sorted out the Google Podcast thing.
Oh yeah.
The latest episode, 6 downloads.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Well, major
that's
spoilers.
so
Like
many.
reached out to someone at like Libsyn or something like that.
Well, if you got enough people being like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
For the record, it wasn't malicious. I don't think it was malicious at all.
Yeah.
I think
Because like,
somebody
was it almost like it was like were they trying to like make like a playlist? kind of?
Yeah, no, they were trying to
Okay.
make a playlist.
I like the idea that
one
he doesn't know.
Yeah, he
Really
doesn't.
possible.
Yeah.
There's no way he knows.
He's like, I just
mean,
made my list on Blindcast. This is what I listen to. I didn't know fucking Google. But then didn't he claim it on X? I don't know, whatever.
I couldn't claim our podcast because they were like, no, we serve that from here. And that's why we don't get the credit for the downloads.
Yeah.
Which there's people who think that like, oh, it's just an RSS feed. And it's like some weird shit that Blindcast is doing is making it so that we like,
Right.
there's no way that Google Podcast, we get so many tweets about it. There's no way that it's 0.3% of our downloads.
Yeah.
It's just impossible. I just can't.
Yeah. 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 I wish we had the data from. Maybe we can still log in. I don't know. Art 19 and drill down and be like, here's what it actually was. Because yeah, no, there is a lot of. That being said, like it's weird, right? Because there are certain aggregators that are like better and worse for.
Right. Like
Things,
most,
and even I don't know what I mean by that, but yeah, I don't know. It's like back when Spotify came out, right? That was worth 1 download. Everyone that listened to it, but that's not the case
Right.
anymore.
Well,
yeah, now
yeah.
it's
I guess
now
now
it's
we
like
sorted it
75% of our downloads.
Yeah, thank God. But it was like Spotify is such a big market that it's like fuck it, we'll go there, right? We'll meet our peoples. But yeah, there's so many things that are just like it's a redirect, so like maybe it's not counting because the other thing that a lot of people don't know is that podcast numbers aren't individual people downloading and listening to the podcast. I don't know how the fuck they figure this out, but I guess because your phone's connected to the internet is probably how they figure it out. But it's based off how many, if you start and stop, depending on how long in between you start and stop, is an individual hit. So today, I've listened to 2 episodes of Waypoint Radio, but I started and stopped it, so that's like 8 episodes.
Oh, really?
8 hits for Waypoint Radio. So I could see the weird shit spaghettifying, or maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but the fact is like capital G Google wasn't even a blip on our motherfucking thing. Nor was lowercase b Blindcast, whatever that is. But yeah, I love the idea that he didn't know what happened. He's like, I just made a playlist.
And I'm like, no.
It's like if you made a playlist and it's like, you claimed all of BTS's music. It's like, whoops.
Well, no, you would be drone stroked today if that happened. So
Yeah.
it's fine. Hi would get your ass. We don't have the power.
Thank God.
K-pop
Anyway,
behind us.
chat, if you're listening in, just want to help us, just go over to the Google Podcast app or whatever and subscribe.
To
And
the right
eventually, if we to the right one,
It's
because
there.
we will not come
Right
up
one.
first. We will not come up first. We will come up second.
Yeah.
But if we get enough people to sub, then we will come up first.
Yeah. The optimal way to listen to any podcast is to listen for like 8 minutes, stop for 10. 8 on, 10 off. 8 on, 10 off.
That's the machete order.
8 on, 10 off. Rewind like 2 minutes.
There you go. Click ad.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that shit, but
No,
it's
yeah,
something interesting. If you're like, oh, I don't want to stop the podcast, just drop a
I
piss
just
off.
was joking about how what happens is I do listen for a little bit and then I'd be like, I'm distracted. I didn't hear what just happened. And I have to rewind a billion times.
Yeah, that counts as 6. I want that cookie. Give me that.
I'm gonna fucking kill you.
No! No! Ow!
We have ice cream though. Oh, I forgot about it until right now.
I just slurped down some ice cream.
I didn't even eat my hot dog yet because I
Eat hot dog on stream. Everyone would love
I
it.
don't
I'm doing,
want That's private.
People love it.
I
I'm
eat my hot dog in
doing
private.
intermittent fasting, where like I eat
yeah?
normally, and then intermittently I eat really, really fast.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I thought you were going to say eat normally, and then I go in between my meals and I don't eat. But I eat like 5 times a day. Big
In
meals.
between nothing.
Nothing. No snacks. No meat.
I just eat 5 meals a day.
Just 5 meals a day. Big ones.
I mean, outside of the lots and lots of cheese.
Oh, what do I got? Cheese, that's dairy.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Cheese
It
doesn't
doesn't count.
Cheese doesn't count.
You got to have your in-between gooeys.
Yeah, no one alive or dead would blame you on your cheese meal.
I feel like every day I am like truly like this far away from just eating a cheese meal. Like I think most of my food is like
No, you'll
This
get
is
canceled
like a-
on Twitter.
well, no,
You'll get canceled on Twitter.
why?
Remember that? No, sorry.
Charcuterie?
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a fuck. I'm eating like Colby Jack, man. I don't care.
But
Get out of here. I'm eating mozzarella
if
sticks.
you put like shitty ham and
Yeah.
Colby Jack in a circle, they're like, oh,
Ugh,
the
it's
fucking
bourgeois.
economic design. Fine, I'll take off.
Like this is a fucking Lunchable, bitch.
We're all
What
mad
are you
at
talking about?
yeah, shit.
Everyone online is annoying.
What kind of
Everyone-
cheese do you want? Shredded?
Hashtag the end if you would like to win some delicious dice. You can put them in your cheeks and have your friend hit you with a wiffle ball bat.
Oh my
See who
God.
goes longest.
Don't even have to hit you in the cheeks. Anywhere will do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I haven't finished Squid Game,
Oh
so
my
no
God, I
spoilers.
can't.
If that
Yeah,
comes
no,
up,
I'm on episode like 2.
no spoilers.
Bachmann,
It's like
I
the
have
most
finished,
stressful thing I've ever
feel free to
watched.
message me separately if you would like to.
Oh,
talk
will
about it.
do. I'm starting on Midnight Mass now.
We're on episode 3
Anyway,
of that.
Back
but
to
yeah.
cheese.
One.
So I used to have a coworker who wouldn't eat raw cheese.
What does that mean? Come at me real quick.
They would
What the
only
fuck?
eat melted cheese, not raw cheese.
It's
That's
wrong. No.
That rocks. I'm on that. I agree.
I love raw cheese.
That rocks.
Uncooked
Because there's like
cheese.
raw milk. That's a thing. Like raw
No,
milk.
they just meant not melted cheese.
Yeah.
Raw
That's so
cheese.
stupid. I love it.
Oh my god.
You gotta give it up. So yeah, tonight we're gonna do like a cast retrospective thing. I'm not super sure what it's gonna be like. Not super sure how long it's
Yeah.
gonna be. There's a non-zero chance we'll poke you guys. I'm like, anything you guys wanna that we maybe
Yeah,
missed?
so
'Cause,
chat
it's-
can inspire us.
help us. It's not like I said on Twitter. It's not a mailbag per se, but obviously your guidance is much appreciated, and you still have time to get in your emails and your voicemails at Dad Milk Biz in order to hit the listener sode next week. We're pretty sure, unfortunately, to Twitch, but you'll hear it, the real thing. We're pretty sure what we're going to do is not play the voicemails on Twitch, and then have that as like like we'll read the emails on the episode, and then David will throw the voicemails into the real version, and we will listen to them behind the scenes. Maybe we'll listen to them, and I don't know. But
We definitely should.
I've listened to all of them, and they're very good.
That was a very good intro. It was very funny, and I think people are probably really going to enjoy it. All
What's
right.
happening?
What's that?
All right, just to another 9 years, just keep it up. You guys are doing great.
I got a new voicemail
All
here.
right, I love you. Bye.
Okay.
we have a lot, so if yours doesn't get in, all right.
I love that it's 9 years. Like a snooze button is 9 minutes. Like every 9
Yes,
years, just
it's
hit
never-
a button. We'll do another one.
Someone hit that button.
Someone.
I'm listening to something.
We're here. We're listening to you.
I'm gonna close my door.
No one, many people are not leaving their names, so
Oh.
you know whatever. But I see people's phone numbers, so like someone
Tim's
came
gonna
back.
text him, Billy. You up? I found this meme.
I was listening to Giant. I'm gonna text all of you. Let's
You
go.
just text him all big chungus.
This is my face looking down at them.
Yeah, exactly.
I might call
You sent me
all
a
of them
voice
back
off
and
the
ask them about
reply.
their car's extended warranty.
Someone called back later and left like a 30-second message of them and their children just vaguely shouting 7. And it was like, what the fuck is happening? It's like, oh, they're yelling 7.
That's
really
wonderful. I love that.
There and any of the bad ones. Sorry, it's good bad. I give names so David can see it, and usually the name is 7 Scream. Maybe don't include, but David's a master, and yeah. What else? Yeah. So next week is listener sode. The week after that, we start our. We're not even taking a fucking week off. We're starting the.
We can't. We need our routine.
Give me money. I have to buy Genshin. I have to buy Genshin Impact things.
I bought BTS tickets. We have to get play tickets to LA.
Oh my god, how fun!
I really am I'm gonna be, I assume, weeping the entire time. We gotta order our army bombs. Fuck.
Yeah. You have you even looked at airplane tickets yet?
You say Arby's bombs?
Arby's bombs.
No.
Oh
no, I know it's gonna be bad. It's not gonna be good because it's Thanksgiving weekend.
Let's look now.
Don't. It's really gonna stress me out. Don't do it. I'm gonna look at it tomorrow.
Just work harder. I'm joking.
I'm working hard today. I had a sexism at work incident today where an old man kept asking the dude in the call about stuff that was my thing, and he wouldn't stop. I'm like.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was like, oh damn, this is like really happening right in front of my face. Okay, cool.
It's like, wow, this is an old school sexism.
Wow,
I haven't had this
man.
one for a while.
Awesome.
Did you just continue answering?
Yeah, and I kind of made it a game of like keeping my face like pleasant and. Like,
oh, you're on video?
Yeah, I was on video.
Sucks.
I'm really good at it, unfortunately. So then nobody knows that I'm mad, but I am.
Do you guys mind if I thank some Twitch people real quick?
Tim, I would be mad if
Oh
you
my
didn't.
god, I would hate that.
Sure.
You would hate it. You would hate it. You overruled Bachmann. Sorry, brother. Killer Monkey subbed and hit 19 months. Thank you so much. Fozzie Dad resubbed and hit 2 months. Thank you so much. Tia Nikes sub for 49 months.
That's
Thank you
so
much.
many months.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff's number 1. That's what I've
Wow.
always said. Cruise Card Collection sub with Twitch Prime and has hit 4 months. Thank you so much. Darzan resubbed and hit for 30 months. Amazing amount of time as well. Thank you, Darzan. The Real Glacier Main has resubbed and hit 13 months of Baker's Year. Thank you. Erock612 resubbed and hit 38 months. Holy shit. 38 months. That is a long time. And they haven't heard the end yet, so don't spoilers, so they're leaving. Shelwyn33 resubbed and hit 15 months. That's a long time. Thank you so much. D Martin G gifted 1 tier 1 sub. Mo Grow Fo Show resubbed for the 3rd month. Thank you. Synthetic Frequencies subbed. No, they didn't. They gave out 5 tier 1 community subs. Thank you. Synthetic Frequencies means a lot. Tater9 resubbed for 1 month. They've hit 19 months. Tater Tot gave out 1 community sub, but I think it had hearts on it. Not sure he does. Cumbertonian gave out 1 community sub. Thank you so much, Cumbertonian. Menard 1984 resubbed, and they've been subscribed for 23 months. Pretty cool.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. Cumbertonian gave out yet another community sub. Rob Bobberty subbed with Twitch Prime, and they've hit 14 months. Death by Kitten gave out 5 community subs. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Cumbertonian yet again gave out 1 community sub.
Nice.
El Hanara. One day I'll be able to say that quickly. Ella Hanara. Resub, and they've hit 20 months. Thank you. Ed89 subscribed with Twitch Prime for the very first time. Wow. Borraccio27 resub for 6 months. Half a year. Nice. And that's all of them as of right now. Well, okay, one more. Sorry, guys. Thrifty Nerd resubbed with Twitch Prime and has hit 14 months.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
1 month streak, though.
1 month streak.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that on Twitch. The money goes, well, not right to our pockets, but after it kind of gets squeezed out.
Eventually. You'll come back.
It'll come back around. It goes from your wallet to Genshin Impact. It's the Genshin Impact to podcaster line that everyone talks about.
Gotta get those primo gems.
Mm-hmm. We good? Anything else? What's up?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I think there's a new Genshin thing that I haven't claimed yet from
There is.
Amazon.
You got a month. So yeah.
All right. Does everyone have Audacity open?
Oh, God, no.
Thank you, Plenty Pops, for subscribing with Prime. Means a lot.
Well, now I do.
I do.
On go.
No.
3, 2, 1, go.
I loved it.
That was very distracting. I
What
love
episode
it too. Sorry
Yeah.
for skipping you, David.
428. All right, cool. Everyone, let's on go.
Wait, were we
Wait.
not?
Oh yeah, I fucked it up.
You fucked it up. That's good because I
Oh.
absolutely blew up David's ears.
Yeah, we were screaming.
I want you to be like,
Okay.
Fuck you.
On
Wait,
go.
oh, wait, we gotta get our audience.
all right, now I'm ready.
Okay, now.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Recording.
David, Bachman's making mouth noises at us.
Dog
All
sounds.
talking is mouth noising.
What are you talking about?
Wow.
It's like when people say that's a made-up word. Yeah.
They're all messed up, bro.
What do you think this word is? The
Bro.
bro.
God, what-
I got
the
out.
word-
I got out of so many fights by just confusing bullies that way. I said all words are made up, and they didn't hit me.
Don't hit me. Words are made up. Okay.
Damn, he's got a point. He's just like looking at his fist, like, bro.
Whoa. Hannibal Buress looking at hands.
Yes. Oh my god, your neck was so loud. Did you guys hear that?
Jesus. I think
Bro,
it-
your
Your
neck.
mic.
Huh?
You
Don't yell at
You
me.
need to get a massage.
Don't yell at
Your
me.
neck is
Yeah, that was my neck. Ow. So Michael, do you want me to intro or just drive? What do you think?
Yeah, whatever, man.
I feel wrong. You do it.
All right.
Yeah. You just still do the intro. It just feels
Yeah.
it feels too weird.
Greetings, adventurers. I am your co-host, Michael DiMauro, and with me this week, Tim Lanning.
Hey, everybody, it's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
We're not playing
He,
D&D
him.
tonight.
We're not. That's true.
My pronouns are he, him.
Oh, shit. Greetings, adventurers. I am your co-host, Michael DiMauro, and my pronouns are he, him. With me this week, Mike Bachmann.
Hey, my pronouns are he, him. What is happening?
Weird vibes.
I thought last week was the last one. Why are we here?
What am I doing here?
Jennifer Cheek.
Hi everyone. My pronouns are she, her.
Nika Howard.
Hello. My pronouns are also she, her.
And Tim Lanning.
Oh. Hey, everybody, it's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me. My pronouns are he, him.
Smooth.
Smooth.
So I forgot that you hadn't been called yet.
Yeah. Because I got called earlier, and then Michael
And I
redid
wanted
it.
to bring up to everyone that
Fucked it
Nika
up.
is wearing very scary and cool clown outfit. Right? She's wearing it.
She's very
It's a
scary.
clown.
Very scary. Freaking
Everyone,
me out.
it's very scary.
It's
Nika,
very
is that a
spooky.
wig?
Yes, this is
What?
a wig.
And is it comfortable? Because you
Yeah.
buy like probably good wigs, right? As opposed
No,
to,
this was like $20 on Amazon.
Man,
Do
I
you know if it was made from dead people hair?
No, this is synthetic. I do have extensions that are real hair, but I don't have a wig that's real hair. I wish that would be real cool.
man. Yeah, I
That's an
gotta
investment.
I gotta thin out my wig this weekend for my
Trim my
Naja
wig.
costume for Halloween.
Yeah, I need to
It's
paint my
too
nails.
it's too voluminous. It's too voluminous. Yeah.
Are you going as Naja?
Yeah, and I'm
it's
going
Pix
as Laszlo.
That's gonna be so cool.
Carly and I very nearly were going to go.
Oh, that would have been so fun.
I mean,
I'm glad
I
you're
was
not.
gonna
You
be
guys would have done it
Nandor,
really well.
you probably would have done it
I
better
was,
than us.
I was going to do Nandor.
Oh, you're more of a
She was gonna
Nandor.
be-
That's very true.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is our sort of loose cast retrospective, the loosest cast in all of D&D, where we sort of talk about, I don't know, just the accomplishment that we had, what it meant to us.
A retrospective,
funny stories,
9 fucking years, man.
all those fun things. But first, we got to give away some Die Hard dice.
That's right.
What?
Yeah.
What? We have to?
We have to. Well, I guess we won't have to. Every single week on twitch.tv/Geekly Inc. or Geekly. We gotta change the fucking name.
It's too hard to say. Geekly.
Gunkly Gunk. Geeklyinc.com/Twitch, the official URL of D&D Podcast. Well, no, that's dndpodcast.com, which doesn't go anywhere right now because we turned
Where
it
does
off.
Rank Farts go these days?
The geeklyinc.com. Yeah, maybe I'll change it.
Just like homegrown Simpson stuff. That goes to Geekly Inc. too.
That's what everybody wants.
That's so funny. I don't know what's happening anymore, but yeah, we give away a code for dice where you're able to fill your card up with a handful of specific numbers of dice, shake up that dice, and enter the offer code. Nika, what is it?
Dragons! Exclamation point.
Dragons! Exclamation point.
Everything Nika says is hilarious because she's dressed as It the Clown.
I can't wait till she's like talking about what it meant to her.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
It's the Clown. Please. He went to several years of alien ghost college or whatever the fuck he is.
I did really forget his name was Pennywise.
He hasn't been creeping around the sewer system.
That is true. They look at like, oh, it's it.
It the Clown was his father, says Michael in the chat.
Oh my god. It's the Clown. Why is that so funny? So yeah, you can do #the end if you're in Twitch right now, or come hang out on our Twitch stream. And you two could maybe win, but since you won't win because of the number of people in the Twitch streams,
but you might.
Sometimes you win, and then you don't actually win. So yeah, it's all a lie.
But it's a fun time to come watch our Twitch because you see the stuff that gets cut out. So sometimes you see little jewels.
Yeah,
like the first 7 times we tried to intro the
podcast. But you can go to dieharddice.com, enter in the offer code dragons ! And get 15% off your order. We get a little kissy of that. So #ad. I'm the hot dog burps.
Somebody on Patreon was like, hey, how come you don't give these dice to people on Patreon anymore? And I had to be like, because we legally can't.
Yeah.
Because it would have.
I don't understand it. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I think here's my thing. I think they think that people would just make a Patreon that's just gambling.
Yeah,
gambling.
I'll send 4 my feet pics.
It's like, why is? Oh my! I actually am about to go black pill.
Let's
and
go.
I'm gonna stop myself.
Okay,
right
never
now.
mind.
Can I tell you guys a quick story?
Sure. We're in the David edit up part while the chat has a few more moments to enter the #the end.
I'm reading The Hobbit with Amelia.
Oh, cute.
And she was having one of those nights where she wasn't really like in the zone. And she's just like counting to herself and asking me like random questions. And I was like, okay, you can ask me questions if they're about the book. And then she's like, do you think this book could ever fly?
What?
And I was like, no, okay, questions about stuff inside the book. And so she's straight up, she's like, do you think Gandalf could ever fly? And it was 100%. Yeah, any of these fuckers ever fucking.
That's like you can hide your weed in it.
But I feel like you should just be so proud as a parent that Amelia's like really funny. She's funny.
Did you tell her about the giant eagles?
Did you tell her about the
giant eagles?
You spoil her about
she gets to that.
All right,
because he does
legitimately
fly.
a plot hole, but you have to realize the point is not.
Michael,
did you?
Michael, I've never read it, so no fucking spoil.
Don't spoil him.
Have you watched the video?
You never read The Hobbit?
I know, and I've never watched them. I haven't
The
watched the
Hobbit.
movies. I haven't even
Oh my
seen
God,
any
I
shitty
was
old cartoon version of it.
Obsessed.
What a
I'm
treat
so
for you.
obsessed.
I read a big Hobbit.
blind. I'm going in blind.
you know, it's fun.
I feel like that's so fun to be able to like watch a thing that's like a big cultural like event and you don't know anything about it.
Like Passion of the Christ.
Like, I was gonna say like I watched
shit out of
this
that
weekend a single white female for the first time. I'd never seen it. It's gay.
I didn't see Blade Runner until way after it came out, and I was like,
I've never seen Blade Runner.
This is a piece of shit.
All right, we're ending dice time.
I was gonna talk about horror movies more, bro. Okay.
All right, final seconds for the dice.
That's the sound that Laser's tongue makes when he drinks water.
All right, who wins? Mariasi, congratulations! You win your very own code for a full pillowcase's worth of dice. Maybe that's on you.
Very small pillowcase.
Yeah,
a dice bag.
A dice bag. It's a dice bag. Congrats! You win. Now you can never say I never win anything.
That's right. That's true.
If you do say, I'll find you. I have your phone number.
Like
probably.
you're a fucking liar.
If you left a voicemail at Dad Milk Biz, my mom used to work for the police department.
She'll find you. And now she's a nanny.
And an actress. And a pundit for TMZ. Twitch. Do any of y'all watch TMZ's program? I don't know what it is.
If so, you might see Tim's mom on there talking about Britney Spears' conservatorship and also about one of the ladies on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So now I know
which one.
The freaking one, Jen Shaw, who's getting. Yeah, man. I started to put this offline because I just started watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Okay, I have talked for a long time about how I want to do a Real Housewives podcast, and I think like I want to do it. I want to do it. We can have your mom on as a guest.
Oh my God, Debbie!
She doesn't know shit about it. She was just like,
she'd be so funny.
Yeah, that would be funny.
I don't even like. I just want to know like. Tell me about your day when you heard the news about Jen Shaw. Like, I don't even care if she knows them. I just want, I don't know. I just want
I mean, my mom can go.
No, you know? Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like meeting Tim's mom is like, yes, this makes sense. You are your mother's child.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you both would do great doing, infomercial acting.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much again for entering in the sweepstakes to win the dice, and thank you so much everyone that came to Twitch in order to do it. But let's get into the retrospective. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well, I guess for starters, Michael, wasn't that wild?
That was crazy.
Wasn't that crazy?
Do you remember our campaign that lasted 9 years?
We went from level 1 to level 20, sort of.
Level 1 to like 13 or 14 to level 8 or something, then to 20.
Something like that.
I didn't even remember that we did that. Like
we should have just kept the numeric value of our levels when we moved over. And it would have felt so great.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because 5th edition is like a lower power thing. So the fact that we went from like 14 to 8, which was like mathematically the same, wasn't. I was like, storm sorcerers not only don't exist, they fucking suck.
I feel like we've kind of had to deal with that several times throughout. Like, oh, this thing is actually not good. Maybe I'm just talking about me playing a ranger. Yeah. Which I just did because it sounded cool. And then everyone online
I was like, that one's broken, right? And I was like, and then it's like, oh, maybe you could try the Unearthed Arcana one.
Which it did.
And I was like, maybe do this other one because it's probably easier. Like, no, this one sounds better. I'm like, okay.
I messed up. in retrospect.
I wanted you to be a Dex fighter.
Well, yeah, because I do. It is funny, like looking back at it now. Like, I love Rowan as a character, but yeah, Ranger was tough for me to play.
Well, no one offered to make you that spreadsheet.
That's what I'm saying. It's tough for me because I'm not good at like doing anything like that.
Yeah.
Accepting help from people.
Yeah.
Or also understanding my own character.
Carving out time to
like think about it. Exactly.
So we've gotten like a bunch of people saying like, "Oh, it's such a great accomplishment!" Like, that's amazing. And it occurred to me that I don't know if I was just being dumb or naive or whatever, but I don't think it ever occurred to me that we might not make it to the
Yeah.
end. Like
No,
I
me
never
neither.
doubted for a second.
yeah.
I think, yeah,
No.
I feel like we have a puppy's stupidity when it comes to certain things.
I think that's true. Yeah.
And, you know, seeing everyone quit their shows constantly. And I was like, huh. Well, I mean, you have to have the perfect setup. You have to have two hyper anxiety doers that are on different, you know, poles of the anxiety. And you know, you got to have the idea guy. You got to have the zany one. You got to have the actual type A that gets shit done. You know, it's a delicious little warm casserole.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and we've said this a million times, I feel like, but I think that so much of our show and like why it's successful was just kind of by chance in a way. Is you know, we just happen, our personalities work well together, long haul.
Yeah, like Bachmann wouldn't even admit that we met before.
We didn't.
Okay, we didn't shake hands, but we were around each other.
We did not formally meet. You did not go to my father
that is
and
true.
ask if you could beat me.
I was like, yeah, we kind of met vaguely at PAX East. Like, no, we didn't. You weren't there. I was like, yes, I was. we went to the burrito place. Like, I don't know if you were there.
I was like, I remember the burritos.
Wow.
It's like, you probably remember Nick, right? He's super tall. No, I don't think he was there. Like,
Just
what?
the burritos.
Yeah, you know, we've said it before about the community and the show. It's like, sure, obviously we're doing something because obviously, but so much of the quote unquote success is just like, oops, we're good at it, or oops, it worked out, or oops,
timing,
right?
You know?
I mean, 'cause I think it was a combo of timing and like our personalities meshing,
right?
Well together,
Yeah,
and like what we wanted for RP, like the fact that we were all like on the same page is like, we're gonna do some stupid stuff.
Barking.
Yeah, the dog.
50% of the cast for part of the first and second year having the I don't want to disappoint people gene meant that we still trudged along. We never really went through that many bad spots, you know.
But just like it is funny, like thinking back. I mean, 9 years is a really fucking long time.
It's incredibly long.
Like, or even like
long.
not just like 9 years, but like whenever we started, because Nika, because it's what, like 7.5 for years, similar. But like, it's just funny for me to like look back and think of myself, and I'm like, I was an entirely different person when we started this podcast.
Yeah, we look like babies.
We look like babies. Yeah.
How many
Not
draft
anymore.
characters do I have in D&D Beyond? I see in the chat? 0. I set everything once. I just click randomly, whatever I land on, that's it. There's no do-overs.
I think there's a fundamental misunderstanding of Bachmann characters.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
well,
if I even made it.
Oh, there definitely is.
Oh, there's deep.
Oh, there's definitely there definitely is. So yeah, Michael, let's what most people want to know about. Like, what was your sort of vibe going into it? I mean, everyone knows about, like, we've mentioned before, the whole you wanted it to be a little more gritty for the kingdoms are founded on this, but like, what was sort of the outline, and then how did the outline change, and then how did it change, and how did it change, and how did it change?
I mean, it's too much. It's too much. I can't answer that. Like when I started, I thought, you know, I thought it would be more into, because we did a game. Me, Tim, and Jennifer were doing a Game of Thrones podcast with our buddy Nick Bristow, and so I kind of was like, oh, maybe the vibe will be a little more Game of Thronesy than
dramatic,
pure chaos, because I hadn't. Despite the fact that I had obsessed about D&D my entire life, I never ever actually played a real game that lasted more than, you know, a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of learning what D&D is, and I've learned that it's just a bunch of goofballs doing dumb shit, which is great.
That's all it is. Yeah, you just have to make fart noises and roll a dice, and that's pretty much what D&D is. And that's how you.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. You just. So let's talk about villains, though. How soon was Finnegan born in your mind, Michael?
Finnegan? I think fairly early on. I think that was the plan from the get-go. I think I dropped like one little hint, like someone's family was killed by an orange-haired or orange demons, or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I do remember like sometimes early on where it was like maybe a misunderstanding at how deeply players listen to you, and also maybe not just listening, but like in ability to know what's like bolded,
Well, right, because that is the thing that's hard about it, is like you don't know what things are just like random, like you made up on the moment, and what things are like really hooks. So I feel like that's why I always get stressed about the concept of being a DM, because it seems so hard, because you just don't know how people are going to interpret what info you put out there, and then you have to just work with however they respond to it, and it's like never goes exactly the way you expect it to go.
And like I didn't so one of the reasons we're taking a break before the next campaign, which is I think it'll start in January. I think I've mathed it out. Whoa. It'll start in January. So about like 8 to 10 episodes or whatever. So because I didn't know, you all could have taken a path at the end there where you did go and kill all the gods.
Yeah,
like that could have been a valid ending. And then the next campaign would have been like, I don't know, clerics would be like illegal or something. That was like a thing that I was seriously thinking about.
Because what do I do if these crazy people decide to do this?
Because when we get together at whatever, we would be like, you probably shouldn't think of your characters because we don't know where it's going to end. We're like, okay, shut up, and then we would do it. But yeah, no, that's a good point of like, where, or even then, like, are we gonna go fight Vecna? Is that another 4 episodes?
Right.
No. How did you foresee that third arc from the beginning though? Of because that one felt very planned, as in like you need the 6 MacGuffins, right?
Right. Yeah. So I mapped it out pretty hard. Well, like the big bullets, right? Like there's going to be this. You're going to go to each of these, because I really wanted you all to explore the planes. Like I thought that would be fun and interesting, going to different places.
I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. So that was like part of it, and like it is. If we had the Angel of Death's Demonomicon somewhere, it does like I think I wrote a lot of what I intended in there.
Oh yeah.
Anything
spicy that
mysterious?
I think I
want to hear.
I put in the Eckhart stuff, or not Eckhart, but I did put in. I didn't know who Eckhart was at the time, but I did put in that it was going to be Trant coming back.
Got it. Wow,
that's sexy.
That's so long ago. That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a million years ago.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I don't remember what was that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess actually I have a question for you, Michael. Like, was there any like hook that you think would have been fun that we never like went down the trail of, that you think could have been interesting?
I think you guys explored pretty thoroughly.
Yeah, that is the thing. I feel like our instinct as a crew is to like really dig into it.
Well, you fucking kill us all the time if we don't do what you want. You fucking blow our heads off.
Why did you stop telling us what all the doors were made out of? You stopped asking.
Yeah, what the hell?
I mean, after a certain point, it's just assume I want to know what the doors are made out of. It's
oak.
We want to know what the door's made of. We want to know what the street name is.
Yes.
And that's it. That's all we care about.
You did describe the door at the game we played on Saturday, and I did.
It.
Look at him go. Tell us what the doors were. I think it's definitely interesting when you take a little bit of an idea, Clay, and you mold it into a character. I guess I want to hear from everyone that played characters. Not you, Michael. Just giving you a break because, again, we're always good. Like, hey, what'd you want? What
were the secrets?
What was that like? What was crazy? What would we not do, right? What was like the most surprising thing for y'all about playing various characters? Whether it was surprising to you because you didn't go into it, or surprising how different it was, or anything like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that when I'm making characters, and I think I've talked about this before, I always sort of pick things I like from existing characters as I don't know, a base to use, and I'm always surprised with how different they end up than my base idea. Because when I think about Rowan, my base idea was stealing from Victor from Yuri on Ice, which is not actually at all. Rowan is not like that at all.
That's so funny.
But that's why I think the way my brain works, at least, is I just find a character concept that I like.
Yeah. And
I know that when it's filtered through my brain, it's going to turn out different. It's never going to be exactly the same match. But yeah, that's how I think about that.
I feel like my characters always start as one thing, usually like that as Jennifer. I pick out something, I try to make a character and then fit the rest of the details to it. But then I feel with Jayla and with Lahni, each of them morphed into being really representative of things I needed to hear at the time.
Oh, 1,000%. It's actually kind of embarrassing, the extent to which myself comes out.
Oh my god, yeah. No, I mean, people joke about it, how much of this is you? Come on, man. Duh, obviously.
Yeah, no, it really is.
It's a multiplicity version of you, right? It's
it is.
It's which character.
It's some aspect of
right.
yourself
It's which character is more you.
That you need to I don't know,
get out and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It is. It's weird, podcast therapy for 9 years.
Right.
That was so clear whenever we would do a vacation-y thing or
oh my god, yeah, wish fulfillment.
Damn.
But also I think just being able to play a character and really drill down into a specific character aspect of them was very satisfying to me. I think playing Rowan, being able to really lean into the dirtbagness of it was good for me.
Right, because I think we've talked about it before, with all of our first characters, were relatively one note, right? And to some extent, besides Tom, were I don't know, more or less just us. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I shouldn't speak for you, Bachmann. I mean, maybe Tom was, just
is Tom a representation of the Bachmann inside?
I'm not sure the best way to say this, but I pretty frequently experience, the call to the void, just that, what's the worst thing I could possibly do or say in this moment?
Yeah.
And just that's been 100% what all my characters have been for me, is just that release.
That's really, that's really interesting.
Sounds like you're doing the same thing that we are doing, but opposite.
Yeah.
Working through a part of yourself or something that is a quote unquote feeling, but you're going sicko mode. And I respect that.
Well, it's I think there's being ADHD is a huge part of my brain, where it's constantly just making connections to maybe things that we're talking about, but aren't really relevant to anybody else that I'm talking to at the moment. And I gotta, what do you do with that information?
These jumps, these leaps to things.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting because you're I'm firing on all of my cylinders. But yeah, it doesn't always
for creativity, it's great. Because that's where inspiration comes from. But just in just a normal conversation with somebody else, it's I gotta do something with this.
Yeah, totally.
Well, yeah. I mean, how do you think that sort of came about with some of the characters you played, though, Bachmann? Or was there anything that you wanted to do from playing, all your characters together?
I love to hear your thoughts on because you, for real, wanted Skud to have a redemption arc that. I don't think that was a goof.
No, Jet.
Sorry, Jet. Oh my god.
Wow, what's wrong with Scud? Why does he do
Scud's
Scud
which
fucked
Scud
up
is
bad.
Scud is problematic.
Scud's never coming back. Yeah.
And in the end, I think it's Steve that needed a redemption arc, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean,
It's like you won't give my bad character redemption arc. I'm gonna make my good character bad. So
take
you,
that.
You went out of your way to choose to make Jet a bad boy who turned on the rest of the crew.
I wanted to say, I honestly, like, it's not that like I have like love for Jet, or I thought that like Jet shouldn't be killed or deserve to die, but what I think he had been so bad that what if I could? You have to try.
So a classic light trolling in order to redeem the bad man.
But like,
Yeah,
also,
I mean, it's not about giving anybody else grief, but more about testing the limits of my power, which turns out is very limited.
like you're just thinking, like, could I do this? Like, could I make this character be likable? And Bachmann, I totally feel you, because I love villains, and there's nothing I love more than a villain who becomes like sympathetic and people like them. Like, they have some good points. I don't know. That's just, I think it's a fun thing to play around with.
Yeah, it's definitely hard because you don't want to accidentally miss any quote unquote pathos or whatever,
Right.
and sand all the edges off your characters,
Right.
Yeah.
reduce their flaws and things like that. I mean, Jet was just doing what Jet needed to do. You know what I'm saying? And if he had to murder an entire realm to do it, is that so bad?
Jet had a statue of his dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's true.
That is
Damn.
so true. It really
So-
does make you think.
I mean, you gotta weigh those scales.
Yeah, that's very true.
So we're not doing like questions from the chat necessarily, but is it Postmates asked what the actual secret of Daisy was that we never explored. And I don't know if you all remember that, like I think Tom had a scroll to talk to speak to animals, and like
scroll?
there was the whole and then I think I think Tim, you were like, if Daisy's magic, I'm gonna quit.
Yeah.
And, like,
That was more of a complicated situation, but
and for that one, I definitely will say I had no thoughts about that at all. I had zero.
right.
I
that
was
was
just
let's just say it was none of our ideas that Daisy was magic, and it didn't really feel like a super interesting realm to go down. But her becoming magic was interesting.
Yeah, and it was also funny to just constantly tease it and never do anything.
right.
Yeah.
'Cause that's funny.
I mean, I did forget about the scroll. That wasn't like a long con.
And that doesn't mean that Daisy, like, I'm not saying Daisy wasn't magic. I'm just saying that wasn't a thing that I decided.
Right.
That was like, if it comes up, then we'll just figure it out.
Right.
If somebody actually pulls a trigger on the scroll thing, I'll just have to figure out.
But it wasn't like you had like some plot hook with Daisy.
No,
that never got.
Right, because
dealt
Daisy
with.
was just there, right, to help us get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, is there a wagon? Yeah. It's not like
Daisy's here.
it's not like there was always a wagon. There was always a Daisy. There was no wagon. Oh, there is a wagon now. Is there a donkey? Sure. We either named the donkey Daisy or whatever. But that's the beauty of games like D&D is you make everything up on the spot. It's a communal storytelling.
Yeah, it's cooperative.
It's way more fun that way, honestly.
Yeah.
Like
everyone's geniuses in the show, but I do think sometimes the audience misses that fact a lot, right? Of like,
we're just doing it on the fly,
right? Thinking it's like not scripted, but maybe over planned or over this and over that. I think that's hard to kind of know.
It is funny because I do feel like sometimes people would be like, "Oh, well, you said this in this episode, but in this earlier episode you said this other thing." It's like, yeah, we forgot.
Yeah, they're both true now.
It's
Okay,
already improving. It's like, yeah, you just, I don't know, and that's the thing too with improv is like, you just gotta say what comes out of your mouth, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work as well. You just don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, and like having, we don't have like a story Bible. We don't have like
No.
a script to follow.
I mean, you
It's
do,
just
but yeah, but we don't. Yeah, he won't let us look at it.
like
He
the
has this so-
wiki.
mean.
The wiki was helpful in
That's
with a
very
lot
true.
of
I use the
that.
wiki a lot. Thank you, Mr. Red.
It's so much. Like, there's no way we get together once a week
Yeah.
for a few hours.
Yeah.
Over 9 years, there's just no human being can keep all that in their brain.
Right.
And I think too, it's like when you're, I don't know, when you're performing like live, like figuring things out as they come. Like we joke about podcast amnesia, but I think there is, it's like you can't be thinking about so many things at the same time. You just
Right.
kind of got to go with it.
Right. It's
So
much
you
easier to
kind of
say.
forget what you said.
Right. It's much easier to say something than it is to remember
Exactly.
everything you
Yes.
said, which is really hard to kind of roll with. But yeah, it's,
Especially when you're just making the shit up half the time.
oh yeah, that's the hardest part. Is like finding some sort of internal consistency when it's like, okay, this day this felt fun and correct, and maybe it was fun and correct, but like 3 months down the road, it maybe wasn't.
And I guess actually kind of like a little bit on this topic, I feel like most of us in this group didn't really play D&D or like any sort of RPG much before we started the podcast. But Nika, I feel like you did before you started. And I'd be really interested to hear like what your experience was like in those other games versus like this, like where, like, was it a similar, I don't know. I just am curious what your experience was with that.
So I basically played in the games that like Michael wanted. Every game I played was gritty, like a high fantasy game was like, ooh, you could like go and you could like get resurrection and stuff like that. But it was just like, I don't know, our everything was out to kill us. Our DM was just like really hard on it. It was literally just the players versus the DM. It wasn't
so you were
a
really
story.
like fighting against each other.
Yeah. And so it was always, you're not friends with the DM. You don't want to like tell secrets or make plans or everything. So that's why like I think whenever I came in, one of the reasons why I asked a lot of questions about things was just because I was so like cautious. I was like, Michael's going to try to screw us over somehow. Like there's some little thing that's like waiting and I know it's going to happen.
It's like that is a thing that like that does kind of happen, but you need to get the like right amount of it. Because,
Right.
Yeah. Like, the whole thing is if you have a playful, like antagonistic,
Right.
relationship.
Right.
Oh,
You don't want to see the
yeah.
seeds.
You don't want it to be like really like we are fighting each other.
Right.
And that's like, you gotta play that up too. Like that's a
Oh,
fun
yeah.
that's a fun bit.
It is fun. It's fun to be like, Michael, you look happy. I'm mad.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. But like every time I asked you for your hit points, it wasn't because I was trying to kill. It wasn't like so I could kill you, it was so that I wouldn't accidentally.
Yes, you could not.
Like literally.
Whereas
that
like
would be the
literally
only time
my
I would
DM
care.
would be like, oh, you have that many. Like I would never answer because he would then like,
Wow.
magically you would have crits and stuff like that. Who's to say?
I can understand how like for certain people that would be the game. Like you really are. It's like more of a strategy thing. Like you're fighting against each other, but obviously with a podcast, like the story is the point and the characters are the point.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I never felt like Michael. I always felt like you were. It was always like in that fun like competition, like like you got to make it hard for us, but like we're always like it was always like for the sake of having fun.
Yeah.
But then it's also it's also that balance between like how much do I like you have to have that constant fight with yourself of like between being like, oh, do I have plot armor or like not like
yes.
like I wanted
armor do I have?
I've wanted for a long time. I've wanted one of us to just die a natural like unplanned death in combat. Just to know that it's possible, you know what I mean? Like, and I think it is, but it's like it's a hard call
harder to do on a
to
podcast.
make.
Right.
You'd have to be really
Indeed,
brave,
though.
Michael.
And
I don't feel like Michael would stop if I feel like Michael would do it, but like
Yeah, he's a big P word, is what I hear. Is what you're saying.
no,
Yeah.
but then we just like there would be a conversation, and I don't know. I feel like it could happen.
Well,
I don't
because
feel
I don't
like
feel like
anyone
Michael-
has been.
I don't feel like Michael would ever kill us for good without being like, yo, are you okay with this?
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah,
appreciate
I wouldn't want to force you to stop playing a character you want to keep playing.
Yeah, it's definitely a different dynamic.
I appreciate that because I think there's a difference. Like I feel like there's characters that you're like, I would be okay if this happened, and there's characters like I still want to do something with this character.
Right.
So,
And early on before D&D Beyond, there was a non-zero chance that if we had a 2-part combat, people wouldn't remember what their HP or spell slots or anything was.
Yeah.
So
It's hard.
so for like until we switched to 5e, until we started doing D&D Beyond, the combat was somewhat of a struggle because no one plays D&D. Most people don't. Not like apparently most people don't play D&D the way D&D was designed, with like fucking 7 encounters a day or something like that. And even more against what D&D is designed to do is do a 1 hour ish podcast, even if like it's only 40 minutes of actual D&D, right? That kind of goes against the vibe of it. So it's definitely, even if it was like a 2 hour, there would be so much more chances for us to get murdered, right? But I don't think that's a bad thing, right? I just think it's a completely different problem that you have to deal with, and a completely different set of hurdles. I definitely think with technology it's a lot better, where I think it took us a really long time to lock in why combat was fun and how to make it just as enjoyable as a funny episode, right? I still think that's probably a way we can grow, right? I think that there's some like RPE things that we could do more in battle, but that's you always want to grow a little bit. But...
I almost feel like the combat is almost like the mini game in the middle of it. Like it's like a side thing that you do have to, like, I don't know, like make it cool, like, and that's why I do enjoy.
Got all these cool things to do, you want to do them.
Like
that's
fun.
I always, every time you guys leveled up, I always would throw a monster at you right away.
You got to try new
so
stuff
you can try out your new shit.
It's fun.
The chat does bring up 2 times that a character accidentally died, and that would be Harper and Bananas Foster.
It's so true.
Yeah, Bananas was an accident, but like, if Bananas didn't die there, Bananas would have died 5 minutes later in a planned way.
I don't know the accident.
He would have died regardless.
Yeah, Harper's the only character.
No, that wasn't guaranteed.
Yeah, he was the only one that randomly died. Randomly, right? Even for us, that's the closest.
I don't even know if this has been like said really, but your whole thing was you had a thought. Well, you say like what your thought was. What was the other option other than him just dying?
Oh, that he would lose his powers.
Yeah.
And retire and become king, right? And like be a good king. I thought that I think that would have been equally bittersweet. I like bittersweet endings, as you can see. That's why I did that with Toby, right? I think dying was the right call at the moment, and I think that was one of the right calls as well. Was him, and there's definitely it's so weird, right? Because like even if something is the right call for us and we know it is, there's this little thing that gets in the side of your head. And some people are like, oh, it's doubt. Like, no, it's the audience. The audience will tell you when you're wrong, even when 1, you're not wrong, and when 2, they are wrong, and they'll disagree with each other. So it is a very difficult thing to sort of balance, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
because you do want to listen to an extent. Like if I don't know, like if everyone was like, this character makes me sad. I don't know. Like
right.
I think there's an extent to which it makes sense. Right. But you do have to kind of just go with the character yourself.
Right. But I think for in this instance, it was like, well, if we don't like pay off what we've been setting up here, then people are going to get mad and say you pull punches when, even if it was like hinted at, right? Which I think it was, right? Because, that's sort of like the vibe of like the quote unquote infusions that he had, right? So,
right. And we did that whole like more serious little bit right beforehand, and we did have a conversation that it could go bad.
Yeah.
And it was like, are you cool with that?
Right. And that is true. We except for the Angel of Death, right?
Right. Yeah, that was a different situation.
Whenever things get scary, it's definitely a conversation where Michael will, obviously not make it obvious that he is moving heaven and earth to protect us. Like we obviously joked about that for Aludra, and we still would do it if it came up. But that being said, we weren't really a very risky party.
We
right?
really weren't,
We're like
honestly.
fairly risk averse, mostly because I think sometimes people are not just, I don't know. I think sometimes in D&D people do the my character's an idiot thing, and then there's consequences. So like we didn't do a lot of that, which we could have. We didn't split up as much as we could have.
Stay tuned for Fred's arc, where my character will be an absolute idiot.
Yes.
And will make constant bad choices.
This is gonna be like revenge. You're just gonna take it out.
Like, what's happening?
But you're taking it out on Fred, so
yeah,
like we're coming out unscathed.
It's a vicious cycle for sure. What about like how characters changed, not just from how you said, Jennifer, where Rowan was like Victor from Yuri on Ice, but like how they actually changed throughout the campaign, meaning once you sort of locked in, and then the character itself changed to the environment. What about you guys? Have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for Rowan, like I first just spent time like wanting to get a handle on like what her personality was for a while, and then I eventually was like, well, what does she have going on? Like, what does she want?
Yeah,
and that's why I started being like, I want to bring in like her family and like kind of bring in more of like, Rowan is a fun dirtbag character, but like what's going on in there emotionally. So I think once I got a better handle on like her general, like how she interacts with people, then I was able to dig into like what is actually motivating her. And that's how I think about it. And again, it's the thing of like any character I make accidentally becomes some like part of me. so it's not that hard to play it because it feels very sincere.
Yeah.
Do y'all have a hard time differentiating your character from yourself?
I used to.
Like I feel like every one of my characters has fallen into dumb bitch energy at some point.
No, I think it like the longer you play a character, the more it becomes some part of yourself. Like you can't help it. Like
there's always some aspect, I think, that the character, some aspect of your personality that the character exemplifies, and the longer you play, the more it comes out. Yeah.
Like it might take a while to be like, I'm like this totally like wacky character, and then you're like, oh no.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes with.
Oh no, it's me.
Well, I mean, that's Jayla turned to goth Jayla when Nika got very depressed.
Yeah, man.
So...
Very dynamic character.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really, it's like, how's this happen? Yeah.
Yeah, it is fun. It is interesting because some of the characters did really radically change. Like Jayla radically changed, and then I think came, back more at the end.
Yeah.
When she was just in a loving relationship.
Right.
But,
support and
or like Toby,
Toby changed a lot.
Toby went down a dark path.
He
I don't know what
did.
you're referring to.
Tim, tell us more. What was your motivation? Because I do think it's really interesting, like playing a character. Because like I feel like the expectation would be like, oh, you play a character that starts out hard and gets softer. You did the opposite of that, and I think that doesn't happen as often.
Yeah, I delight in simplistic sort of character tropes, very tropey, very not overly complicated, right? So, initial Toby is just, freshman hanging out.
He's a little guy.
Right, yeah. Freshman hanging out with the seniors, out of his element type thing on top of classic nerd wizard. Easy fun. Love to start as a trope and go from there. And yeah, it's very much a situation of like the constant draw that and we've already kind of alluded to it, is it's like when you're playing a character with quote unquote flaws, there's always like a whirlpool and that's always dragging you to the center. And the center is like making them not have flaws, and while also it's making them sort of like you, right? They're all turning into the like character of whoever it is that you play, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that it was like, oh, well, he has no charisma and he has high intelligence. He's, it's like, okay, we've seen those types of characters before.
Yeah.
I'll just do that. Like, oh, he'll probably laugh until you're wrong, but he's not doing it because he's mean. He's just doing it because like he doesn't want you to die, and he's like generally interested in how you could come to such a poor decision. And then the fact like the time jumps are like really fun, right? Because that's when you get to explicitly justify any character traits you want to do and things like that. Right. So from there it's like, all right, gone through some hardships, is no longer naive, right? Peeling off a little of that crust. And I do think that sort of I think that technically initially edged off some of Toby's stuff, but that did kind of skew him more from goody goody two shoes to like, okay, he's seen some stuff based off the quote unquote lore of the 7 years in between arc 2 and 3. Then towards the end, it was sort of a situation of like half desperation, half epic, deep mania of making sure that no one he loves ever gets hurt, right? So that was sort of like his core. It's a very easy core to play off of. It's a fun one, right? It's a very simple. This is good, right? I want to protect my friends, but when it's
not always that straightforward.
Exactly, and that's why I love simplicity so much. Is because you can just take such. It doesn't have to be complicated. It's just a very simple trope character wants to protect her friends. Now, what's interesting about that?
Right, you're rolling into like the complexity of the human condition.
Right, and so towards the end of it, where it's obviously becoming harder and harder to protect your friends and family. It's like, what would you do? What would you do to protect those that you love?
Damn.
And then Michael sort of dangled the Vecna stuff, and I was like, oh fuck. Like, because
that's my shit.
Because if I think if it would have been up to me, I would have toyed with it, but never like done anything super, hardcore or naughty or deep. It was like, it felt like a very obvious thing that Toby in his hubris, right? Because even though he was more mature, he was still like extremely intelligent.
He still has his personality,
right?
Like...
And he sort of had it's a lot like Nate from from Ted Lasso in a lot of ways, right? He was lucky that he made friends and allies of gods, other gods, right? How do you beat a god? Well, probably another god. And Vecna's technically not a god, but they're powerful enough to be of that tier. So if he didn't do the work of having allies, right?
That's a lot to think about as Toby as analogous a little bit to Nate. That much to think about.
Yeah, no, I think there's something.
I'll ponder that in my heart.
I think the character not knowing that they're slowly declining into desperation, and when that desperation gets deep enough, then they will make choices that are worse. I know, like for the time jump with Harper, and it was really interesting behind the scenes a little bit. Is like Harper might want to kill Jayla, because if she did kill Eludra's fiance, then where Harper is, capital G good,
right? But, he might be like, I have to deal with this.
But as a quote unquote lawful good who basically formed a city out of refugees fleeing a demon apocalypse, he would be like, we're friends, yes, but I haven't seen you that much over the past 5 years, and if you really did this, then I have to execute you, because what you did is going to kill so many fucking people. But
making the fiance, I forget what his name was, but
Balder?
Balder.
But yeah, Balder.
Yeah, making him like the nicest
love
guy
that.
in the world was so fun.
It was so good.
Because it's like, I hate this guy.
It made it like have impact.
Yeah.
Because we just sucked. Like, who cares? But it wasn't like that.
I enjoyed doing the stuff with Skud and Uthgar. That was a whole long thing, and it was every time I got to play Uthgar, that was always fun for me.
You love to play a stupid bro. It's so
funny.
Oh
yeah, it is. That is the best.
I think that whole stuff, like I know it was played a lot of silly. There's like a lot of silly stuff in there, but like there was I don't know. There's also some like some real shit in there, like, and particularly for me, like also like, you know, my dad dying this year and like getting like having to do that kind of stuff, like, you know, there's elements of truth in there, and like in like how I was feeling about all that. So it was really nice
and I
to be able
mean,
to explore that.
And I mean, this, you know, this whole thing started like right when my dad died. Not to get like too serious, but like that's why I was in the attic finding the D&D books, is because I had to clean out the attic because my parents had to sell their house because of all that. Anyway, so like I was right there with you, and like just really and like when you were like, I was like, I'm gonna make Uthgar do this really dumb thing or like this shitty thing, and you were like, no, you shouldn't do a shitty thing. You should actually be a decent, good person. I was like, all right, yeah, this is the path. This is the right path to go down.
I have no memory of ever reining you in for anything. So if that's a lie, thank you so much. You're making me look way better.
No, that is not a lie. That is very true. What else?
How about like stuff that we're looking forward to? You know, let's not say that we're improving, right? But like, what is something that, you know, is on our hopes and dreams bucket list for the future?
It's so tough because I really enjoy like discovering new things and like surprises and stuff like that. And it's so hard with, you know, like vanilla D&D or just like whatever the stuff is from the D, because it's like, you know everything. You know, you're like the players know everything. And there's, you know, it's like, it's not like you're going to be playing your player character and you're going to run into an elf for the first time and be like, oh my God, an elf, you know, it's like, like that's never going to do. And it's like, I want to somehow have that sort of like, you know, discovery and stuff in the next campaign. And I will have to like put our heads together.
Should just go full Land of the Lost.
But,
Yes.
Just like describe one creature, but replace literally every other thing about it with another creature. I'm like, wait,
what?
This isn't a wait.
You just like
wait.
the
You see a dog,
and,
it
like,
goes
shift the table
meow.
over.
Yeah, exactly. Like that would be weird. How about
like
other?
I'm probably gonna do more like completely made up monsters and stuff for you all to fight.
Oh shit!
Yeah, even if it's a real monster, but you just say it looks like something different.
Yeah,
like,
just reskin it or whatever.
Yeah.
Just to make it sort of more interesting. But
Nika, any thoughts or?
The Pennywise face. It's so good for like literally any reaction at all.
I was just thinking that I would like to see I would like to see a true betrayal in the party, but I don't know how it would happen.
How does it get any more betrayal than being the literal villain?
I don't know. I guess maybe. Okay, maybe I just blacked out Jet because of how much.
Because like it'd be so cool to have.
You were
that
the most
again.
mad about Jet. Easily the most.
Yeah,
It's like very effective on her.
Because whenever you were talking about his redemption arc, I was like, if Jet came back, I'd kill him. Jay would kill him. Okay, never mind. Oh,
And when Harper did it, it was like much quicker, and we got over it.
Yeah.
I would like
motivations
to have
Yeah.
Jet come back, but have to just always avoid Jayla. Jayla comes in the room. He's like, "Oh, in the closet."
Oh shit!
The Amazing Adventures of Jet and Jayla. I would watch that. I think.
What would
But-
they be
like a.
Could you imagine the
sitcom?
fashion they would have?
Yeah, but Nika, are you saying like an organic betrayal of where? Because both Harper and Jets essentially were like pre-planned.
Yeah.
So like one where it was more like this character really just is not going along, like their arcs not go along with what's going on, and they're gonna like do their own thing.
Yeah, or like someone who's playing, I don't know, like I feel like you can have certain, like maybe it's more like an evil character, like someone who's playing an evil character who's maybe like actively working against the party, but in a way that's very like underhanded and long con. Like which, and maybe a lot of that was going on and I just didn't realize it.
Maybe like it could be interesting if I were to like give you a choice that was so difficult that it kind of split, or like one person was like, nah, I'm just gonna like
I can't
I'm
go
just
along
gonna do
with whatever
this.
is.
I'm gonna like everyone else is against me, but I think that it should be this, not
maybe something like maybe more
I wouldn't
difficult
do that again.
situation. I don't know.
What's that?
I wouldn't do that again, Michael. Everyone disagrees with me, but I think we should do this situation where.
But you stayed with us though, is the thing.
Yeah, but that was because we do a podcast.
I think they're talking about someone literally being like.
Well, that's the problem. We're still going to be doing a podcast down the road,
right?
Yeah. So what does that look like?
It does make it different. Yeah.
I think that.
This is. I'm talking characters, not players.
Yeah.
No. That's I am too. It would be so weird. Like maybe we can do it now because we're a little more quote unquote mature or whatever. But like, every now and again we would have to kind of say we're not real sure why Tom is with us. Harper should leave right now. It really doesn't make any sense that he's here. But what are you gonna do?
A lot of things don't make sense in real life.
That's so true. That's so true.
Gosh.
But yeah, I definitely think that a little more grit. Right, even if it's not Michael's Game of Thrones world, but
something that I would like personally is to be a little more willy-nilly with decisions or things like play. So the way that I play Call of Cthulhu games is like you're gonna die. It doesn't matter what you do. Have the most fun option. And I have never played a D&D character like that. Most of it is like it's strategic in what I play, so I think it would be fun too.
You're like agonizing over your choice,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, what is like the correct choice to make?
Yes, which is the most
going with what.
Right.
The most fun or whatever.
Right.
So like,
Nika, I'll trade you characters sometimes if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
like,
no,
I think that'd be fun.
Must change your mindset.
It's definitely, a tough thing to do. And I think the whole how do you encourage your players to not be so risk adverse is definitely a problem. But I think there's it's like a spring sort of like, okay, I've been way too risk averse. Now my character does something my character wouldn't do. Because I think it's like in my experience, my somewhat limited but broad experience. Sometimes people just like I'm just doing something crazy. It's like, would your character probably does not want to die, right? You're like
that feels like a totally different. I can't really imagine anyone in this group doing that.
Right.
I think it's more that sometimes, at least for me, I feel like I let the player knowledge infect the character knowledge a little bit. Like well, I make this decision because I know it's going to be really bad if I don't make it. Does that make sense?
Not in a metagaming way, but it's just like
not intentionally, but I think it does affect how I play in a way.
Well, you also have to figure that your characters know a lot more than you know, so there's definitely a lot of that going on, right? Like
one thing just to amp up the stakes a little, like I'm really looking forward to us being low level and and like resurrection not being just a thing that you can do without even thinking about.
Yes.
Just because it makes the stakes so much lower. So I might, I don't know. I would like death to be more permanent or like a possibility, because it's really like
take resurrection out of it. Like,
Michael, I have never thought on this podcast that death was not permanent.
Yeah, it's interesting because like you didn't really push it back when it was a situation where it could have been permanent, just because we could resurrect,
right?
And I think we didn't really track gold very well, mostly because much like forgetting to track your own HP during a battle. that came up of another thing. But I think the way to kind of counteract that is do some of the more boring stuff, right? Like you kind of have to have some of the quote unquote boring stuff to make some of the cool stuff mean more, right? Because like resurrection costs like 1,000 gold,
right? And you have to like go earn that gold,
right? So
that's a different situation. Like you're having to go do side quests to get the gold,
right?
To resurrect them.
Or if there's like no one near your party that could do it,
right?
Because like
a little soul in like a bottle,
right? Because like the early like revivify spell, wasn't it like it's only within 24 hours or something like that? Maybe it's
I think
like
so.
shorter.
I think it was like a minute or something.
Oh,
Isn't it really fast?
I don't know.
That gets into where we're like
quick.
teetering on the edge of like what's a game and what's a story for listeners.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and that's a great point, and I don't know the answer to that, but I definitely think
because it is very different.
It is
like
very
what
different.
we're doing is
like I think
different
if we like broke from like our story to go do a side quest to like farm material components or something like that.
Sure. But that's real D&D. Sorry, that's at home D&D too, right? Everything is an opportunity for more story, and you know, just because the DM is doing a random encounter on a table, or just because it's always an opportunity for, you know, the story to follow. So if you look at it as like derailing, right, which is, if you look at it that's a couple red flags, right? It's always an opportunity, but it's still what you're saying is completely true, with the audience being like, they just want to get to like what the audience wants. It is chaotic and unknowable. Even the ones that should tell you. And you know, I've said it from the beginning. Fuck the audience. The audience is here because they like us, and
so we kind of have to trust our gut. In
right.
That.
It was an early advice I got during improv. Fuck the audience. Play to the top of your own intelligence. Play to the top of your own ability. Don't go chasing their tail, right?
Yeah.
If you do something they like, don't lean into that. Do something that you like and train the audience. So and I think that is a part of why our show is sort of has lasted, right?
Yeah.
Is because I think there is so much of it that is, the draw is not necessarily like I was thinking about this the other day. I think there are D&D shows that the draw is the story within the D&D game, right? And like mechanics, it goes like story then mechanics, right? So I think for our show, it's more of the entirety of it is that, and there's nothing wrong one way or the other. It's just simply none of us are actors. So what else are we fucking gonna do, right? And we started as a show that was literally like,
you.
I mean, I took acting classes. I almost was in a fucking commercial.
Do you know how many musicals I was
in Ghostbusters? Huh?
You know how many musicals I was in high school?
That's true. I'm sorry. What? You are a musical theater.
3. That actually is.
Yes. None of us are professional actors or what have you. So, you know, I think it's still always going to be a consideration, but I think for us, it would bum me out if we didn't do something simply because we thought the audience wouldn't like it. Now, we can say that because we wouldn't do anything that bad, right?
Yeah.
It's that whole thing of like talking about your like anxiety, right, Jennifer? Of like, oh, you're anxious that you'll mess something up,
right?
Due to this interaction, but it's like, well, because you're doing it, you're never gonna mess it up. Or you would never go like that hard,
right?
It's messing up. So all that to say I think there's like something to be done with some of the more unfun D&D mechanics.
I think like a less maybe hostile way to think of it, other than fuck the audience, is you know, you can't surprise the audience if you're giving them exactly what they want.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes people think they want a certain thing, but they don't actually.
Right.
So like I think what they like about our game, I think, is that we're just having a good time together. Like, and I think if we were trying to play it in a way that was just catering to the audience, we wouldn't be ourselves, and it wouldn't come across the same way.
It's like how everybody put 7s in the chat, but no one wants to see my dick.
Very hypocritical.
If you think you do, you don't.
You do not.
Yeah, wow, that's a lot of good points. Michael, I mean, is there anything else that you want to get off your chest? Any weird parts of the DMing experience? Because I know what most people want to hear, where we zigged instead of zagged. Is there any secrets that you want to reveal?
Yeah,
anything?
do
you want to gloat of anything we missed? Now's the time, baby.
These dummies.
No, I don't. That like there was a lot of. Most of the stuff is like stuff got kind of out of control or out of my hands, or like going to do the pyre thing. Like my plan was always like, this will be like 5 episodes, and then it's like, no, it's actually we spent a year doing this. Like that is more where like this, or I don't know if it's a failing of imagination on my part or what.
That's how it is.
You thought too highly of us, Michael.
Yeah,
no, not at all.
We're not highly enough.
Yeah.
Somewhere in between there, probably.
You thought nothing.
You didn't think at all.
I was not thinking.
Head empty, no thoughts.
I'm looking. I pull up my secrets doc to see if there's
just share it with us, please.
Secret in there. Oh my gosh. Who even knows? Remember
I think bone cards could have been explored more.
Honestly, we could explain.
We didn't spend enough time on bone cards.
I loved every second of it.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of those things, too, that felt very much like, okay, we're doing a podcast. This makes no sense. We should break into the Elite Forge. Why are we not breaking into the Elite Forge? Okay, I guess we'll do this instead.
You can't.
That's not fun.
Yes, it is. Breaking into a fucking vault. That's the funniest shit in the planet.
But yeah, other shit we need to do. No, breaking into a vault that is fun.
We should have explored more of Castiglione Marcello de Reginini, the mafia.
Yeah,
the mafia component.
There's a lot of unanswered questions there for sure.
Yeah, we never touched that. The Gremp, we never got into that.
Damn.
Right, everyone like kind of said the Gremp of us like dropping plot lines, but it's like, have you played Dungeons and Dragons? You try to kind of throw shit out the players. And
Have you
or
seen
like
the world?
real life, you just think of all the plot lines that you drop in real life. You find out
Exactly,
shit and then you never address it.
Right.
Remember when everyone thought that, what was it, like killer like wasp or whatever were gonna be a big thing, and they just like went away.
Listener, did you solve the homelessness problem in various cities across America?
What happened to that plot thread?
Why'd you not do anything about it? It's like, well, we had other stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? Freaking season 2 of Mob Psycho was on, and I had to watch it.
It was good.
I think
a third one that's coming out now.
I wanted to make it even more complicated with like Trant was like tricking Tiamat and like to go, but there was like no way to show that or make it not intensely
for this.
It was already so confusing. Like
right, because I think the thing is, you explicitly don't like to monologue. And the fact that we had to bully you into doing it. I don't know what the answer to that is, because I don't want us to be a show like where you record shit after the fact, and the finales are you just talking for 35 minutes with cool music and stuff like that.
That's not what it's about.
That did not sound fun to me.
Yeah.
Because again, I think it's the whole thing is that like the thing that's fun is us all like building on each other and like creating something stupid.
Yeah, we are a shook up beer can.
Yes.
And like the offshoots or like those silly dumb things that we would do are always the most fun. And it's like, I don't think the podcast can just be that. Like it wouldn't work if it was just only chaos, but like every once in a while you gotta have a Sweeties day or whatever.
You gotta let yourself like be indulgent.
Right. You have to embrace the unknown. And sometimes the unknown is we're not going on the plot thread that I thought we were, but it seems like there's something here. And we haven't done a combat encounter for a while, or we haven't had like a hostile, low stakes NPC that they're not going to fight, but maybe they'll argue with, and you don't know where that goes. So there's so many things that like you just kind of got to have an open mind to go off the beaten path sometimes, and that's never super easy. It's also hard for us not to know when we need to push back on you, right? Like when it's like, all right, I don't want to mess up your thing, because we don't necessarily have a lot of time, and it's not you railroading us, it's us making sure I don't know. It's some weird non-negative version of that where I think we can push back on some things more because you would literally tell us to. But I'm sure we would. It's tough, right? And I don't know what the answer is there, and I don't think it's even a problem. It just is. It's maybe
just the tension in playing. I think. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
You're never like. It is always that like, okay, should I like push this or like, do I need to like let this happen?
Right, and you don't ever know when something is going to be accidentally self-indulgent just for your character, but sometimes that's like really, really, really important to do.
I tend to err on the side of indulging the self-indulgence, is I think it usually is. I don't know, at least for me, I find that is when I can like dig into a character and do some interesting stuff.
Right.
So. Do you remember that giant stone head that was floating around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was nothing.
That was cool.
I was like, I need to make this into. Like, you guys are so into it. I was like, I gotta make this into something. And then
I just loved that it existed.
Yeah, I mean,
it didn't need to be deeper.
There's so
than
much
that.
like
I just liked it.
It's like, oh, that was just on the back lot, the Universal Studios from another movie.
Show me what you've got.
It is fun, like having those sort of threads come up though, and just following them, even if we have no plan or it doesn't advance the plot.
Did you have an idea? Did you have an idea for Pyre if we didn't do anything about it, or were you super happy for it just to be a part of the world? As there's this weird, lightly fascist or maybe completely fascist city that is weirdly protecting people because it's the apocalypse, but now that we're not in the apocalypse, they're still there, you know.
So there's like certain things that I felt like needed to pay off, or it would have been a bummer. Like it's not like, and I think I think it would have been disappointing for, you know, and it's like disappointing for the audience, and it's not like, but like a legitimately disappointing. Like so if Pyre had never paid off, this dragon that we've been talking about for so long, and like like I think that would have been a big bummer. So I would have probably,
but it was fun that we did.
He probably would have been like fighting with Trant or something like that.
Right. I would have made Pyre more involved in the final stuff, probably.
Right, because he tried to steal the orb initially.
But we dealt with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because originally it was Tiamat working with Trant to try to fuck things up. Tiamat thought Trant was working for her.
Oh, that classic.
Oh, man.
That classic one.
You gotta be careful who you align with.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Who's gonna turncoat on you?
Yeah.
Damn, we're watching Squid Game right now.
Squid Game. You might get Squid Gamed if you
might get Squid Game
if you're not, you know, paying enough attention. That's my second opinion.
What was this? I just had another thing that I wanted to talk about, and it fell right out of my little brain.
Pyre and
talking about
paying off. Paying off.
Yeah. Yes.
So like when Toby introduced all the clone tanks, it was like, if we never use these clone tanks, I think it'll bum people out.
Yeah.
Like it's like Chekhov's gun or whatever. It was Toby's clone
Chekhov's
tanks. It's like essentially making the clone tanks made it so that I had to kill you.
I do feel like that was fun. It's like when you have something cool like that, it's like, you gotta play around.
I don't understand where that term comes from, because like I've seen a lot of Star Trek and I don't remember Chekhov ever having a gun.
It's a phaser.
Yeah.
It's a phaser. Or if it was a holodeck, right?
They could have a gun in the holodeck.
Yeah,
that
maybe like
true.
a Tommy gun,
a lot
right?
of World War II RP in there.
Why did the Tommy gun work against the Borg in the holodeck? Is there like, can you like turn holodeck into like real murder?
Man, I don't know. I think that you can.
That's a great
Don't get me started on this.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point, Michael, about the payoffs of all these various things. I bet there's also too that you can't pay everything off because some things need to be quote unquote
it's
set
goodly
dressing, but
some things
yes, exactly.
or whatever.
Like, we never paid off like why the doors were made out of different wood.
Right.
They were always oak.
Well, but I think about like Lost, and like I think that being a person who was super into Lost and like watching it from all the way, and it's like thinking that there was a payoff for every single thing, and there wasn't. I think it was actually a good lesson for me. It's like, listen,
right.
Sometimes a thing just happens,
and when they tried to answer them, they were bad,
and it was bad. So sometimes
the first time anybody's been taught anything by Lost.
Listen. The first time Sim and I held hands, we were watching Lost.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's about to be our 10-year wedding anniversary.
Oh
this
my
week.
god.
Yeah, that's love. So I have a soft spot in my heart for Lost, even though it's a good day.
We gotta go back.
We gotta go back.
Well, any final thoughts on this retrospective type of episode? I mean, I'm very, very thankful to all of you, and very thankful to the audience, and to all of the people that are behind the scenes that make this work, from David doing all the editing, Mr. Red doing the wiki, all the brilliant fan artists out there helping and stuff like that.
I think one, last little comment is kind of going back to how when you make a character, it always ends up becoming you. And I think there's a part of me that's like, okay, I'm done finding out stuff about myself. That's enough. I'm just a little bit nervous, oh no, what's it gonna be next?
Oh shit.
I'm done with this shit. But I'm not.
What did Rickety Nell pull out of
my god, I don't know. I want to be Rickety Nell right now. She's a queen.
Rickety Nell is always inside of you.
That's
So
right,
true.
she is.
I think Oh no, please go ahead.
Okay, so I thought a lot about what I wanted to say last week, and I thought of stuff that was really witty, and then I forgot everything. But I feel like I'm gonna cry. I just want to say thank you to you guys, because what started as just a funny show that made me laugh a lot became a lot more, and you guys, the show helped me in ways before I even knew you. And then knowing you guys and getting to play with you over the past 8 years, I'm so appreciative of being to sit at the same table with you guys and play in the same story. And thank you for being there through my learning growing pains of learning story versus rules for D&D. And I don't know, thanks for everything, and it's been super fun. And from being a fan of the show to this is just this
must be a very big deal for you. To see the end. You.
It's when you came on board, it injected brand new life into the show, and I think that is just such a huge part of the success.
I think it became a thing of now this is it's it locked into place. Okay, this is it now. This is our group.
It is literally roll or die.
Nika,
no, we told you that. It's
Nika, your transition from fan to cast member was my inspiration to try and do the same thing on Always Sunny. You were more successful than I was.
We're rooting for you.
You've inspired 1,000 cringeworthy emails sent to info@dndpodcast.com.
No, I do. I don't know. Nika, I feel the same. I'm just very grateful. I think it's been very therapeutic for me, in ways I didn't even realize, or it just happened. And I'm very grateful for the chance to get to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's changed our lives completely, right?
Yeah.
And it's
this
is a thing that we have forever now.
Right, look at all the bullshit behind Michael. So much of that bullshit wouldn't be there.
That's almost none of it.
Persona 5, poster. Persona 5 happened because of us.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's... I skew negative in my brain sometimes, and I skew viewing that which we don't have, or what have you. And it's easy, and we say this a lot when we read reviews. It's very easy to forget. I think that we're always good at being thankful, because it is so surreal. But I think there are times that we forget. I forget. Sort of how lucky we are, right? I know it, but there just gets maybe it's a better way to say it. I don't necessarily take the time, right, to stop and really huff in wow, This is really hard. No one's done this before.
Well, but I think Michael, it kind of goes back to what you were saying. It's like it didn't even occur to us to like that we wouldn't keep going.
Yeah.
And I think that was like the thing. We're all on the same page.
Right.
Like,
It's my hermit crab analogy that I like to say. Humans, we just grow.
Yeah. You grow into the house that you're in.
Grow into the house that you're in. You're always going to feel, you know, I remember like friends of mine when they got better jobs and promotions always had about the same amount of money because you grew it. So that's sort of like where it was for us, where it's like, there were some times where maybe we didn't get the chance to really be thankful because it's like, okay, we got invited to this thing, but they spelled our name wrong. Okay. This thing maybe happened, but they, you know, all this other bullshit, which again is stupid. You know, we should be.
Yeah. It like, there's a lot of shows out there that are way more popular than ours, which is fine. But like the fact that so many people do care so much, and it means so much to so many people. Like, we get emails all the time, and which we don't, you know, share. Because
I do feel like we have like a very like good connection with our audience. Like I think we may not have as many as some, but I think we have like a very
They're extremely wonderful.
It's very strong.
Yeah.
I think that I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I do enough good. Like, I don't think I do a good enough job. Like, sometimes I get, you know, you get nice messages, and I don't do a good enough job responding to those. But that's only because it's really funny to me when somebody says, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" 4 years later, going, "Yeah, what's up?"
And I think they appreciate it too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that that's what they were going for.
That's a gift.
Yeah, the emails always bounce back. Like, this email's not in service anymore. Like, oh.
But getting to go those two conventions was really nice. Just getting to talk to listeners and stuff because it'd been so long.
Oh, for this year,
and, the last things that we in the upcoming Unpacks and Plug, I'm sure will be awesome.
I can't wait.
Oh man, it's gonna be really. I'm excited.
To have like another human just care about the dumb shit that you're doing. Sorry. It's very rewarding.
It's surreal, yeah. I'm very humble.
So thank you all. Thank you for giving a shit about our dumb little show.
Yeah,
that's a very I mean, we wouldn't be here if you guys didn't give a shit. Like, we probably would not play D&D together anymore. Because that's just how things
that's
are.
reality.
It's hard. I mean, like, there's a million things going on. Like, your life completely changes. Like, you move, you have a kid, like, start a new job, like, but because it's a podcast, we had to prioritize it, which I think is I mean, that's fine. We've been able to keep doing it, and it's been really good for all of us, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Rad.
Damn.
Well,
sucks. We'll never do it again.
Last episode.
D&D again.
Stop it! Next week we're gonna have your voicemails, and then we're gonna do 8 to 10-ish episodes with guest GM Fred Greenleaf, which is gonna be so awesome.
Fred is awesome. He's
gonna DM us something spooky.
He's gonna do something spooky. It's gonna be great. And during that time, we're going to be doing a bunch of world building and stuff so that we can, when we start campaign 2, probably in January, we'll hit the ground running, and it's going to be awesome. And we'll get to make up new,
and then wait for a week until
that'll happen. We get to make new inside jokes. It's you'll be able to have a thing when you're like, oh, just start campaign 2, episode 1. Like, you'll be able to tell your friends that instead of being like, I don't know, they start 5e at episode 165 or whatever.
That is a tough sell. There's a lot of episodes, so I'm looking forward to being like, you could start here. It's a manageable amount of episodes.
Yeah, and our numbers are up, so there's a lot of people that are trying to catch up.
It was awesome. Thank you.
Well,
I think we've done it.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Let's go back into our self-loathing holes and embrace a big helping of Baptist style shame.
I need to eat a hot dog.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Thank you so much for coming here. Michael, can you take it away as normal?
Sure. And I just, thank you all for playing in this game and just always being so supportive, and I appreciate you all a lot. And I do want to also say thanks to Carly for also supporting me and helping me with ideas and letting me bounce ideas off her and then coming up with stuff. And She plays a very secret part of this behind the scenes. So I will always be eternally grateful to her.
Thank you, Carly.
Yeah,
Thank you, David.
thank you, Carly.
Yeah, and
David and Steph
oh my God.
and everyone who's ever touched, thought of, downloaded, looked, or whatever to this show.
Made art for the show.
Yeah, artists.
Oh, so many people to thank. Thank you so much for supporting us.
Wrote fan fiction.
Got tattoos.
Yeah.
Named babies.
Thank you, everybody. If you want to get in touch with us, we're on Twitter. We're at Geekly Anchor, at D&D Podcast. We're on Instagram at Greetings Adventurers. I'm at Thrifty Nerd.
I'm at Tim Lanning.
I'm at Jennifer Cheek.
I'm at Nika_Howard.
I'm at the Mike Bachmann.
Should I do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you want to.
Well, I do. I don't know. There's just parts of it that seem like, I don't know. Okay. Well, after you finish listening to this episode of Greetings Adventures, why not head over to Geekly Inc. and find some other thrilling and entertaining podcast. geeklyinc.com. I just messed that up. Damn. Needing your fan art fix? Well, check out the hashtag Drunks and Doodles for fan art that rolls a nat 20. If you love the work that goes into the show, you'll want to make sure to follow our editor, David, on Twitter at SpudCam. After you've finished taking a break, leaving a review, which is just what I'm going to say right now, head on over to wherever you listen to podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating and review. Also, don't forget to head over to patreon.com/D&D podcast. Once you become a patron, you have access to exclusive content you won't be able to find anywhere else. New episodes come out every Monday, so go subscribe, get your quest log filled, and get ready for things to get dicey.
Did we say you can review us on Facebook now?
You review us on Facebook.
I thought said that they were tried but couldn't.
Oh.
So it should be. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We've got 19 reviews on Facebook.
Nice. Oh, are they good?
5 stars, every one of them.
Hell yeah.
We'll read some of those.
I keep saying to get vaccinated.
So until next week, keep it dicey.
Next week, the final episode. Wow.
Tim was laughing at me because I ripped too hard on my little vape. and I was coughing.
Oh, what are we calling this? David.
Is David in the chat?
PJ. Rep.
Are we going to do... I kind of think we have to do Campaign 2 Episode 1, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because we want people to be like, go to Episode 1.
Yeah.
Because
they're still gonna be scared if we're like go to episode 430.
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah. We definitely have to like do a new numbering system for it.
This call is something. I mean, Dave will know what it is.
I'm just episode 428. Final thoughts.
No, not 428.
Wrong. Well, I've already named it.
Fuck.
David says 428.
David says ghost.
It's not 428. It's gonna mess up our numbering if we still have to do it. If we have to go record 428. What if we have to go record 428? Oops, forgot to say this. Scud got eaten by a big whale.
Swallowed it right down.
Oh yeah, we can find Scud by simply casting Wish, I believe.
No, I specifically, when I read that out, I left that part out because mine is an altered deck.
Hell yeah,
so
baby.
Oh, you can't find it.
Cannot use Wish.
That's fucking
damn.
sick. He's gone forever.
He's gone.
He'll never show up again.
Yeah. Greetings Adventurer Season 2, The Legend of Scud's Gold.
I mean, how could he show up again since this is
you could like somebody could find him, but like the chances
of
it being anybody who's like in the that we
500
care
years
about.
in the future.
Where are you, Michael? Where's Scud? We should have asked where Scud was.
That was our mistake.
Where's
I
Scud?
don't answer any questions in my brain unless I have to. Because I'm lazy.
We're asking you to answer it out loud.
I don't know.
Where is he though? Thank you so much, Twitch.
Yeah, thank you, Twitch.
Let me go through and thank the folks that gave during the show. On Sybil for you, gifted 1 tier 1. Gifted 1 tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. On Sybil resubbed with Twitch Prime, and they've been here for 8 months. Thank you so much. Belisarius gave out a whopping 50 subs.
What?
Thank you so much.
That's so many.
Thank you.
Okay,
Belisarius.
you really should just sub on Patreon.
Thank you.
They do.
Oh,
Thank you.
You are a kind soul.
Yeah,
You're
and
a
I also
very
think
kind
if
soul.
you're gifted a sub, it'll probably be like, "Hey man, you got a sub? You want to re-up, baby? Hey baby, you got a taste? You want another?"
No, it's probably yeah.
Thank you so much. It means a lot that you would. Did I say this word?
You guys, just lots of people give.
Thank you to Far Size for resubbing, and they've hit a year. Congratulations. Sanders Ozart resubbed, and they've hit 11 months. Zerion resubbed for 1 month, and they hit a year as well. Congrats. Human Filth has hit 35 months. Thanks so much, Michael.
Thank you.
The Viking Bear resubbed and hit 5 months. Thank
Hell
you.
yeah.
Thank you. It means the world. Conathan also sub for the first time. Thank you.
This minute.
This minute. Now. I guess we'll go do the raid thing.
I really do. I am very hungry.
You're in the hot dog
I need to
zone.
eat that hot dog. I can't stop thinking about
I
it.
want a hot dog so
Okay,
bad.
Have you had how many hot dogs have you had today? Your
None,
your
zero,
body
'cause
is
I didn't eat
your
dinner.
body is literally eating itself.
I need a hot dog.
I've had
You
2
need
hot
to get a
dogs.
hot dog. I'm rewatching Detroiters, so everything
Oh,
I'm
I
saying
want to.
is,
I need to rewatch it.
is a Detroiters.
I think I got a couple in my desk.
Pull them out.
Sorry, it didn't bring D&D up initially. I'm like, what's wrong with you, you little fucker? All
Any of
right.
these fuckers are
Michael, have you
just-
ever seen the hot dogs sketch on The Whitest Kids You Know? Where he's like, it's a guy in a doctor's office, and he's like, about how many hot dogs would you say you eat a day? And he's like, like 5.
Hey, too many.
And he's like, walk me through a typical day. And then he's like, before he's like even gotten to work, he's like, well, I hope there's no more hot dogs in the day because we're up to 5 now.
I'm watching that.
Someone's asking what the deadline is for the voicemails for the podcast.
I don't know. What's the day?
So not now. They can still send them now.
Yeah. When is it? Probably fucking like the 27th or 28th. Because we're not going to do them on the Twitch one. We're going to listen to him behind the scenes. And David's going to shove them in.
Good
What are these
plan.
cats doing?
What are they?
Too long to pause. Out. What are these cats doing?
Hey, everyone in chat, join our Facebook group.
No, don't do
Yeah.
that. Sorry.
Well,
Delete your
like
Facebook.
if you're on Facebook though.
All right. Thank you so
Get
much.
a Facebook account.
Get a Facebook. No.
No, it's making the
Well,
rollers.
get a Facebook account and fight your grandma. That's all I'm saying. Fight your uncles.
Yeah.
We'll see you all next Tuesday, baby. Where am I? Oh, there I go. I can click the button.
Where are
Good.
Oh, bye. Are we not there yet?
We have 8 seconds.
8
Oh,
seconds.
okay.
Bye, chat.
Okay, bye, guys.
Have fun.
See you on the internet.
Yeah.
I love you.
Are they gone?
Yeah, we did it.
We did it.
We did it.
Thanks, guys. I really.